Our foster care system is shattered. And this podcast is about how we as a community can come together to bring about change. Change in the system and changing the lives of children in foster care. Hi, my name is Rob Shear. I'm the founder of a national charity called Comfort Cases. I'm an advocate for children in foster care. I'm a public speaker. I'm an author of A Forever Family. But most important, I'm a dad to 5 of the most amazing kids. Welcome to the Fostering Change podcast.
Well, here we are, another episode of Fostering Change. And by the way, what an amazing weekend. It was actually Father's Day weekend. I had an amazing time with my family. I'm getting ready to ask my friends who are my guests today how their weekend was celebrated for Father's Day. But, I am so excited about this episode. And for those of you who follow me on social media, they know about being in Bryce Howard's documentary, Dads. And I remember the day when we got the phone call that Bryce had chosen us. And then we started talking about the other dads that were going to be in the episode. And my next two guests, both were in the documentary. And I will tell you, the nicest part about it is that documentary ended up people becoming friends. And I do really consider both of these amazing humans my friends. First, I want to introduce Glen Henry. Glen Henry is a father of 4 amazing kids. You've got to follow him on social media, by the way. His kids make me laugh every single day. He's got great wisdom to teach all of us dads. And I'm just so excited. And my next guest is also Robert Selby, who he is the father of Chance Elijah. And if you have not read about Chance's story, I will tell you, I have had more comments about his segment in the Dad's episode. And there's been so many things that have been said and all the things that Robert's doing. But guys, welcome to Fostering Change.
Thank you so much for having us, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
It's crazy. It's been a year since they aired the Dad's episode. So Glenn, I'm going to start with you. What's been going on with you and the kids?
Everything, this is a very high functioning company business that we've kind of turned this into, and the family and the kids are doing really, really well. I think it's interesting because we shot it like 2 years ago, but it came out last year, so there's been even more life since you guys have seen us. But cutting my son's hair and having another baby and, moving into a new house and, getting the office and all this stuff has just been really incredible. So we've been great, man.
That's awesome. That is so awesome to hear. And by the way, congratulations on the new one. Since we aired and taped, I also had a 5th child. And so the difference is my child came at the age of 18 and not as a baby. So life has changed so much. Thank you so much, Glenn. So Robert, what's been going on with you and Chance?
Since then, it's just been like a roller coaster, of a ride and stuff like that from so many people, that's hitting us on up as far as like collaborating, sponsorships and stuff like that or whatever, or just even just the feedback of just the, the movie or whatever. Every now and then, like I said, I get people just like, hey, I just watched the movie and I love your part. And it's just so great and amazing that, you dads have like different stories to tell or whatever and stuff like that. And again, like I said, my son is getting bigger, more active. It's crazy and stuff like that. He graduated from 1st grade to 2nd grade, so that was like a big thing for us, this year. And also, he finally has gained enough weight to where he probably would get his feeding tube out after 7, almost 8 long years just trying to get his weight on up. And it's crazy that his doctor was like, you know what, even though you're 7 years old, your weight is that of a 2-year-old baby. I'm like, what? Then I saw a 2-year-old baby and his weight is almost the same. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. But other than that, it's just been amazing.
That's crazy. You know what? One of the things, Robert, that I get a lot of people reach out to me about is how you're co-parenting with, Chance's mom. And I've heard that the two of you started a podcast.
Yeah, well, yeah, we started in one. It should be like launching soon and stuff like that. It's called our unique co-parenting, because our co-parenting is unique because we live together. We like I tell people, we co-parenting. She is my best friend. Love this woman to death or whatever. And we live together, but we're not together. And we raise our child together. So in this little apartment or whatever, we have the most amazing stories and fun and games and times and stuff like that. And I thought that would be something that we could bring to other people, for us, like tell them how we co-parent and other options that you could go about doing and stuff like that. Because we making it work, I feel like other people could make it work too with their partners and stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Glenn, you and Yvette, you guys have your podcast as well. I've been Reese and I've been together 16 years, and I can't imagine working with Reese. He's a stay-at-home dad. That's a hard enough job. How is it working with your wife? Because I'm assuming that you guys are together all the time.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Wouldn't have it be that way. No way. So Beleaf in Fatherhood is one company where we aim to equip fathers. And then the second arm, it's kind of threefold. It's like a three-stranded cord. So it's equipping fathers, giving hope to mothers, and inspiring children. Giving hope to mothers is the How Married Are You podcast with my wife. And we do spend a significant amount of time together because she does help so much and add so much to Beleaf in Fatherhood. And especially during the pandemic, it was like, we're still in the pandemic, but especially during that time, we were together all the time. We realized, I don't really want to be around you that much. You know what I'm saying? Because I have my specific talents and strengths, and she has hers. And so it is very, very difficult. We have thrusted ourselves into counseling. I have a therapist. She has a therapist. We have a couples therapist. It's a lot, and so just working together and figuring out, where the employer CEO ends and the husband begins.
Yeah.
is very difficult. So we've been working really, really hard on our relationship. It's been really tough.
You know what, Glenn? I have to tell you, I love the fact that you are just so open and, to talk about that, because the same thing with Reese and I. Reese and I have a therapist. He has a therapist. We have a family therapist, and because it is a lot of work. I mean, it's a lot of work to keep a relationship, going, and especially, you have 4 kids, having 5 kids. I mean, that brings so much dynamics into it as well. Yeah, Robert, I have a question for both of you. I'm going to ask you first. How has fatherhood changed you?
Let me see. Fatherhood changed me. It showed me that like I'm not as important as I once thought I was or whatever, because as a human being, me, I think I'm important. I'm the center of the earth. I think that everything revolves around me and stuff like that. But when you have a child, the roles reverse. Prime example, you got the president, the most powerful person in the world. One finger, one push of a button, could detonate a lot of stuff or whatever. You got people answering to him. Anything he say, the beck and call, from maids to cooks to drivers to all of that or whatever. And then you have a child, and your roles reverse. You go from being the most powerful person to that child becoming the most powerful person, and you're answering to that child or whatever that child need. From cleaning their poop up without even saying it. They poop, you go clean it up. They want some food, you go give it to them. Anything they want, and he's like, hold on, I'm the president. This child, this person should be answering to me and doing everything I need. But here I am, the roles reverse or whatever. And the kids got you eating out their hands, all soft-hearted, lovey-dovey, all that stuff or whatever. So it just showed me and taught me that, again, I'm not as important as I really thought I was. I'm talking about, I did any and everything that I wanted to do. Then it comes to having a child, to responsibilities.
Yeah. It,
You gotta care for this kid. Oh,
it,
you just can't do any and everything that you want to do or whatever. You gotta think first, and then also you go from you feel like you being number one, so you might be like the third, fourth, fifth, sixth option in your house or whatever and stuff. Because when grandparents get into it, and then aunts get into it, they don't even care about you. My mom called me. She don't even say hey to me no more. How you doing, son? What you been up to, son? I miss you, son. I haven't even talked to you in a long time, son. It goes from, hey, where my grandchild? I'm like, all right,
yeah,
he going, what? He got a tablet, call him.
yeah,
So
that is common. That's kind of true in our house as well. When the grandparents call, it's the first thing they want to know is talk about, what's going on with their kids. Glenn, what do you feel, fatherhood has changed you?
It's it's given a lot of purpose. It's made me push back a lot of fear. You know, I think fatherhood is you applying everything you're supposed to be taught, but it also has robbed me of my own identity because I have completely pushed my own desires and needs to the side and have become a father. And like I have pushed aside friendships and all types of things because I've tossed myself into this role as a father and a business guy who needs to provide for his family. And so I think just now I'm coming to a place of being like, I need my friends bad,
Yeah.
And so I've a lot of the times I'm like, man, I'm too busy. I'm so sorry I can't hang out with you. Now I'm kind of like, please come over right now, hang out, bonfire, marshmallows, wine. We just kicking and eating sushi. You know what I mean? I'm begging people to come over because it's lonely. My job as a father is to provide security to my children, provide security for my wife, to provide security for my employees. But who's providing security for me? So then you end up losing yourself. And so it's one of those things where as I am like inspiring other people to become dads, I'm also trying to warn them and say, don't lose yourself in this,
Wow, I love that. I say this quite often. If you do not fill your cup, how can you fill someone else's? And I think as dads, very much like, where, trying to provide for my children, for my spouse, for my employees, and not having that job that every 2 weeks I get that paycheck. It is definitely a lot different of life. Glenn, before we take a break, I really would like to ask a question because one thing, I follow you on social media, and again, as I said in the beginning, I do consider you a friend. And I'm so excited to see you doing branding with Target, and that you guys have doing working with Dove. How did that come about, and what is that like?
Working, first you feel pressure because you're like, oh my gosh, these people want to work with me. And I'm kind of like, are you sure you got the right number? Because you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not the most handsomest person in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what is happening? But I'm a model out in these streets, man. Who'd have thunk it, right? Man, it is a pleasure working with brands for long terms. People, and the teams over at Dubman Plus Care, they really do care about men. You know what I'm saying? Like they really do care about the well-being of men. And so you end up like making financial gain and exposure, but they really do help prepare you for the things that you can't even, you don't even know you need to be prepared for, like, media training and just other opportunities with different people that they know. It's one of those blessings, you know what I'm saying? But it's one of those things where it's just kind of like really honored to be considered. And so the interesting thing is like they're watching you. Like when they actually got a relationship with Target, they were like, we've been following you since April, and we're so glad that we got to work with you. But it wasn't until October that they pulled the trigger. So it's kind of like you don't even know who's paying attention.
Right.
It could be 6-7 months beforehand. People are watching you, and you're 6-7 months away from your blessing. You just have no idea. So it's just one of those things where I'm just honored and really appreciative of the Dumb Men Plus Care team because they sponsored the whole dad's film. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they were behind all the funding, and they were like, hey, we need a familiar face after the film's out. to put on products. So they use my family as like the end caps and
I saw that. I saw them. I was like,
so random.
It was so crazy. It was like, wait a minute, I know this guy.
And I haven't even seen it in person, but a lot of people have told me that they've seen it and they got the mailers and stuff like that. So it's a real blessing for sure.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I agree with you on that. And you never know who's watching. And the same thing happened with me with Briggs and Riley. That for months and months and months, they had been following me on social media, and I didn't even know it. And all of a sudden, they pulled the trigger and said, "We want you to, do this sponsorship with us for comfort cases." Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break. Everybody, I am so excited. Father's Day is, something that, for me as a kid growing up, I didn't have a dad. I didn't have that role model. And the thing that I always knew is that I wanted to be a dad. And I am really lucky to be a dad to my amazing son, Alex, my beautiful daughter, Amaya, my sweet son, Makai, my energetic, loving son, Grayson, and my sweet baby boy, Tristan. And I know my two guests are so excited to be a dad to their children as well. So listen, what I tell you all the time, no matter what platform you're listening to us, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, leave us a comment, like it, share it, let people know that we're here because we are about change. We'll be right back.
This episode of Fostering Change is sponsored by Comfort Cases, a national nonprofit that is inspiring our communities to bring dignity and hope to youth in foster care. For just $10 a month, you can support the Comfort Cases mission to eliminate trash bags from the foster care system. For every $10 donated, a Comfort XL duffel bag will be given to a child entering foster care. Please help us be part of the change. Go to comfortcases.org and see how you can help a child entering our foster care system.
So we're back. This is part 2 of dads. I hope every one of you that are listening and watching that you've had the opportunity to go to Apple and watch the documentary that Bryce Howard directed called Dads. It actually taught me a lot, and I was fortunate enough to be in it. But one thing that it really did show me is that we're all so much the same when it comes to being fathers. And, Father's Day is just passed, and we're excited that, we had some time to spend with our family. Robert, so what is a typical Father's Day for you?
Right now, I don't know because I think my son is like being like a little bit sneaky. They got something up their sleeve or whatever and stuff like that. So, he's trying to give me hints, and I'm like, all right, what you doing this weekend? What have you done? I'm like, I ain't done nothing. They're like, okay. You got any plans? I'm like, no, I got no plans and stuff like that. Okay. This testing the waters and stuff like that. So right now,
it's always a big surprise. Glenn,
right,
what about you? What was the plan? What's going on? What happened for Father's Day?
Yeah, usually, Father's Day for me is the biggest time of the year because I'm a fatherhood influencer. So it's like everyone at the last minute is kind of like, oh yeah, Black dad, same, you know what I'm saying? Let's get this guy, you know what I mean? And so out of nowhere, you have brands coming like giving you stuff and all. And so it's actually the most intense time of the year. It's kind of like Christmas for retail, And so for this Father's Day, I requested that I get to just be home by myself. And I got a virtual video game, and I playing video games because I haven't played video games since I was like 18. And so I just wanted to kick it. That's all. I wanted a little bit of freedom. And
I love that. Yeah. I absolutely love that. So that leads into my next question. If you could grill out or order takeout, what is for Father's Day? For you, you're saying, Glenn, you just want to be home by yourself. So I'm assuming you're going to go with the takeout.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting some heartburn medicine. I'm going to get the, I'm lactose intolerant. So I'm going to get, some stuff for that. Order some pizzas, you know what I'm saying? And just, and wild out. That's what I'm going to do for sure.
Robert, takeout or grill out?
I would say grill out, but you got COVID protocols and stuff like that. But then also I go from, being the person that's there partying for to actually like being the host. So I'm going around doing everything at my own event or whatever and stuff. So I would just do takeout. I might order some Grubhub so they actually deliver it to me so I won't have to leave the comfort of my crib or my couch and stuff like that. And yeah, just get missing. I lock my door. I even got one of those Even got one of the hotel signs like, "Hey, do not disturb." And when it's on the door, nobody mess with me at all. Man, I'm talking about. Sometimes I'll leave it on there for a couple of hours, like even though if I'm not even doing anything.
So let me tell you, you both have really young kids, and so my kids are teenagers, and there are days that I beg them to come out of their room just to talk to me. So for me, it's like, okay, my dream is for you guys to spend 2 hours with me without your cell phones and just really have engaging conversations. So I'm gonna do the grill out because I want them to sit around the pool and just talk and really do things that we don't do quite often enough because they are teenagers. And by the way, it is true. They roll their eyes so much it's going to get stuck in the back of their head one day. I truly believe it.
I have a daughter who does it now at 4, so I'm in
Oh
trouble.
my God.
She's the worst, man. She treats me like crack, but it's all good. I get played all day.
I'm at that butt stage. Everything is a butt, except for just like doing it.
Yeah. Well, by the way, Robert, I just saw Chance walking by there. If he's near, I would love for him to say hi to our guest. He has been, I've seen so much going on with Chance, and I follow him on social media. And I see that you have a shirt on that says "Love with all," what is it? Love with all my fixed heart. So tell me about that. Tell me about this new line that you have out.
Yes, this is a partnership with my good friend Jessica Connor at Outshine Label. And what she does is, she is an advocate for medical need kids and families and stuff like that or whatever. So we partner with her to make a line for, our brand and, to help promote other, medical need kids out there and stuff like that. And, she is an advocate for the medical need families and kids or anybody out there that has a medical need. So we partner with her. This is "I love you with all my fixed heart," the same saying as my son said in the dad's movie that had everybody crying and had me crying and stuff like that. And he always said from time to time, it just shows me like how much he loves me. He doesn't love me with his whole heart or half heart. It's a little bit more impactful when like "I love you with all my fixed heart" and stuff like that. All the stuff that he actually went through in life. So yeah, we partner with like a great company and our good friend Jessica Connor, man. So it's been an amazing ride. And also like she got other families on their platform. So when you go up on there, you can shop and help out and support other families. And any proceeds, anything that you buy on there, like 60% of it will go towards the family to help them out, anything they didn't need or whatever. So all the 60% of the proceeds go towards their family. So whatever you buy. So it's
so what's
amazing.
The website that they can go to?
They can go to outshinelabels.com.
Okay.
And it's like outshinelabels.com. And again, like I said, you can see like 8, 9, 10 different stories, families from my son with medical needs to you got another kid on there that he had like a near drowning experience. Then you had a good friend of ours that he had 22q and Williams syndrome and Down syndrome. So please, guys, help us on out and support.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Glen, not long ago, I noticed that you had a clothing, you were doing this whole different types of sweatshirts and shirts that had different sayings. What came about with that? How did you, I actually love that.
Yeah, thank you. So we do merch drops. And so, I release a video every week on Wednesdays. So every Wednesday I release a video and, we want to create a more of a deeper experience. And so we kind of bring people into a universe. So it's like you watch a video and then, you go to a concert and you like want to buy the shirt and you want to, get the poster. So it's like you watch the video and then, all like the whole season of that video, so one season was the Good Father season. And so we did like maybe 12 videos just about me trying to become a good father, and what that means. And so then we sold merch to support that movement. And so my wife's theme lately was the Purpose Collection. She's been, motherhood has robbed her of her identity and she's trying to get back into her purpose. And so she had, Made in Purpose, Work in Progress, Keep on Keeping On, and Strength and Dignity. And those were different designs that we had our graphic designer put together, and we sold them. But we don't leave them for sale all the time. It's a merch drop, so it's only available for about 4 or 5 days. We ended up selling, I think, like 3,000 pieces in like 5 days. It was incredible.
That's amazing. That is
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Look, we got Chance. Chance, what's up, my friend? Thank you for joining us. I wanted you to say hi. How's it going?
Good.
Good. Tell everybody, how old are you now?
7.
7. You look absolutely amazing. So you just finished first grade?
Yes.
You awesome. And you get excited for some nice summer fun?
Yes.
Awesome. Anything you want to tell the audience? No. Well, listen, you stole our hearts on the Dad's documentary, and you still steal my heart. Like I said, I follow you on social media, and I just love everything that you and your dad are doing. Guys, as we wrap this up, I cannot say enough, how unbelievably humbled I am to call both of you my friends. One of the things I definitely want to ask as a father, I am a dad who is raising four amazing, 5 amazing children, but 4 of my children are of color, and 3 of my boys that I think about every day. And as a white privileged male, I don't know what they're feeling, by the way. And so I try to educate myself as much as possible. But what I would like to ask each one of you before I ask the fun question is, what advice can you give me, give to other dads who happen to be doing interracial adoptions that are raising our black and brown boys of today? What advice do you give me? Glenn, let's start with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would say don't be afraid to immerse yourself in culture. I think that whenever I see like interracial relationships or whatever, sometimes when culture and like society's pressures gets on them and they start to feel like, whoa, what if this is Black Lives Matter thing, and what is this other side, like I don't, and they kind of come to this like, we've never had this discussion before. And so when you love someone else and you love someone's culture, when you love someone, that means you love their culture. And so you have to immerse yourself in the culture, the behavior, and understand like actually what you're getting yourself into. You know what I mean? Because you I can't get black off me. Like, it's on me. You know what I'm saying? And it's on me in every single way. And it's like I love being black. You know what I'm saying? And it's like there's so much about me that is just who I am. And you'll know that you're doing it right when your kids don't have to code switch, when they come out of their room and they don't have to be different for you, or and I'm not sure what all that looks like in a actual sense, because I've never done it before. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But I would just encourage parents out there who have children of other races and even interracial relationships. I just think you really should try to immerse yourself in the culture that you don't know yet, and don't be afraid to look silly and be uncomfortable.
I love that. I love that. Robert, what advice do you give me?
Don't follow like society rules sometimes, because for prime example, y'all two guys. So you have Glenn as a stay-at-home dad. From society views, as a man, he's supposed to be all of these. You don't supposed to be no stay-at-home dad. You don't supposed to be taking care of the kid. This is mother duty. This is what mother's supposed to do. This is what female's supposed to do, and stuff like that. And he changed the narrative and stuff like that. And just like you have foster kids that you foster as a white man, fostering 4 black kids, on top of you have your sexuality and stuff like that, where male to male couple and stuff. And society look at that like, no, this ain't supposed to be. It's supposed to be man and woman raising a child together, not 2 women or 2 men and stuff like that. So don't be pressured, again, like how society look at y'all and what society think, or society, runs your house and stuff like that. Only what's going on in your house and how to fully, run it and make sure everybody's okay. Same thing with us. We got a unique situation or whatever. But society says that, we supposed to raise our child together, get married, and do all these things, and not just be co-parenting, living together and raising our child together. And roommates at that or whatever and stuff like that. So I would just, like I say, recommend just don't, feed into society as much and stuff like that. I know it's tough, it's hard. I know it's a lot of pressure on your kids because when they leave that door and stuff like that, they have to fight for their house. They have to show like they represent your household. So of course people are coming at them for being Black, but also got white parents, y'all again living on a farm, and y'all are, you against Glenn, stay-at-home father or whatever. You got your wife out there making the bacon or whatever, stuff like that. People like, what? You got your wife is working and she doing all that, but not knowing what you're doing at home, like all the hard work that you're doing, stuff like that or whatever. So I would just say, don't let society run your household.
I love it. I love it. You both, thank you. I mean, that was some great advice. And by the way, just to let you know, when my children arrived and as they've grown up, I've actually learned to like rap music. And Glenn, I've done exactly what you told me to do. I've been immersing myself into, because it is who they are. And, and so it's, and I say this quite often, my children did not choose to be in foster care, but I get to choose, to make sure that they become really good humans. Guys, listen, this has been an amazing, amazing time. I've got one last question I want to end this with. And number one, I'm going to ask you first, Robert, what's the best part about being a dad?
The best part about being a dad is learning yourself, like every day, learning that again, you got all these books about being parenting, but it doesn't have nothing to do, with your child and stuff like that. I learned that I am bipolar, because 1 minute I'm screaming at my son with my breath, I'm kissing him, lugging, oh, I miss you, I love you so much, son. So I see the different mood changes in being a parent, but it just taught me that, again, my child, or you're not the most important person and stuff like that. You just got to learn to, again, understand that you're actually providing for somebody else. You're being a teacher for somebody else. You're listening, you're being a mentor and stuff like that. So you're always on display. And so you got to act accordingly and stuff like that or whatever, because every time I turn around, my son is doing something I'm doing. I'm like, I don't even remember doing that. So yes, right. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah. So Glenn, for you, what is the best part about being a dad?
It's learning that children are, they forgive really easy. And that apologizing is really the greatest weapon you'll ever have. Forgiveness, it allows me to have more grace with the other people in my life. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I have to say, for me, one of the best parts about being a dad is when people come up and they compliment about how, my kids they say thank you or they say please. And I'm like, wow, sometimes you forget that. So listen, I cannot thank both of you enough. I know this isn't going to be the last time we get together. And, listen, to all of our listeners and our viewers out there, please, follow my friends on social media. It is... Like I said, I've learned so much, and I've been so blessed to, call both of them friends for the last 2 years. And if you have not watched the Dad's documentary, it is available on Apple, and we'd love to hear, what did you think about it? Because, so many times dads are not talked about. And we want people to realize that, guess what? We're part of the game as well. So I hope each and every one of you have an amazing rest of your day. For all those dads that have celebrated Father's Day, for all those people who have stepped up and made the role model of being dads. And by the way, those moms who have stepped in and have had to play both roles, thank you. Thank you, because you are all raising the future for tomorrow. And we need to know that. Take care until we all come back again to Fostering Change. Bye.
I would like to thank all of you for listening to the Fostering Change podcast. You can subscribe on all of your favorite podcast streaming platforms, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Make sure you follow Comfort Cases on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter at Comfort Cases. Check out the Fostering Change blog at comfortcases.org. And I know some of you have a question. And I know some of you would love to be a guest. Please personally reach out to me at fosteringchange@comfortcases.org. That's fosteringchange@comfortcases.org. Then do me a big favor. Please help spread the word. Share this podcast. Share it with your friends and your family. Remember, I say this quite often. We're all part of the same community. And that community, it's not our zip code, but our human race. Let's all make a difference.